Okay, let's start things off and get on right into the top 10 ice levels in video games. Games Part 1. Yes, I'm going to have to break this into two parts because TV Tokyo is a bunch of pricks. Thanks. You'll find out when I upload a video about that little incident. But moving on first, before we get started, the rules. Only one per franchise, only ice levels I played, and I'll be ranking them on how they play, how they incorporate the theme of ice, and what other themes they fuse with ice. Because most levels don't really just use ice completely. So let's get started with number 10. Okay, the Echo Base from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. It's a pretty good ice level. It has all the makings of a nice level. The ice. It's a hidden base. Some heat and ice-based puzzles. The only parts that are annoying are the sections where you have to move C-3PO around. And they are annoying. But thankfully they're not that often. And it avoids the usual ice trope of slipping, sliding. Hitting. Well, except for when you're on the snowmobile, which can go F itself. So with the problems of the snowmobile, the C-3PO, puzzles, and the fact that it's just not that pretty to look at, which is also another factor in the design and appearance of the level. Forgot to mention that earlier, but I can't place it any higher than number 10, but that doesn't mean it's not a good ice level. Let's move on to number 9. Okay, guys, number 8, the Ice Warren from Donkey Kong on Jungle Beat. This is not. I know some of you are saying, wait, wasn't this game pretty bad on your review? Well, yeah, but the ice physics of the slipping and slidingness fixes to a degree, some of the problems you have with the game, or at least I had with the controls, or making Donkey Kong faster. Though they add some of their own problems which prevent it from getting higher, but it still looks pretty spectacular. Heck, if it had better controls, it would probably be better than number 7. But it looks pretty good. It's an ice cave made entirely out of ice, rather than you're just got ice on the walls. Also, so it's kind of got the unique vibe going for it, and it controls pretty well for being in a pretty bad game. Moving on. Or a pretty okay game. So moving on to number 7. And jump cut to a new location that's hopefully more soundproof, so you don't have to hear some of the distracting background noises other than fireworks. Yeah, I know. Moving on. Number 8, the Snowy Mountain from Jak and Daxter. Bet some of you are wondering why it's so low. Well, it's a snowy mountain. It's too generic, but it still looks amazing. Plays amazing. Unlike, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh, right, the Ice Warren. The Ice Warren wasn't bad. It's just because, well, the Ice Warren was, its main flaw was it still had some of the bad controls from the game it was in, but because the ice slipperiness were to that game's advantage and made that level better than most of the others, it made it on the list. This one, however, because it's in a good game, has even less problems. But I'd still say it has some problems, like how the platforming at times can be tricky, and getting through some of the puzzles maybe is a chore. Or interdetic. So well, they'll get in your way, but that's all relatively minor stuff. It still looks amazing. It still looks pretty good for what it's trying to be, and it's not a bad level. It's just not that, doesn't do anything that spectacular or look that spectacular and different. It's an ice mountain. How basic can you get? And it's not even got any unique traits from other ice levels to anything unique. What kills this one and puts it at the number 8 spot is how bland it is. But enough of that. Let's move on to number 7.
Cool. Wow.
Okay, Halloween in Town / Christmas Town from Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, Christmas Town is more so the one being on this list, but because they're the same level, just two halves, I have to combine them. And I know what you're thinking, oh crap, that's the reason why it's this low. No, that's the reason why it's this high. And you're probably going to be looking at me like, wait, what? I said uniqueness plays a big factor. And while the ice is pretty memorable, it's the fact that the ice is also attached to Halloween themes that allows it to stand out. I mean, a lot of the Halloweenist enemies still appear in the Christmas area, so it feels like it's literally Halloween invading Christmas. And so it's got a couple unique things going for it. But because of the small Christmas themed area and snow portion, I can only give it the number 7 spot. It would be higher if it had more snow portions to go through and more things to do. but it plays well, doesn't inhibit you at all, and is a pretty dang good level. Cool. So moving on to number 6. Okay, number 6 is Fachina from Star Fox Assault. Now, why didn't I pick it from Star Fox 64? And if you're going to say it, I know. Oh, what you're going to do. It's Fortuna, not Fachina. It's Fachina. Even Star Fox 64 3DS fixed it. It was a mistranslation. Sin, you original purist pricks better stop doing that. And leave now if you think you're still right and are going to call it Fortuna. No, I'm being serious. Leave. Just go. Are they gone? Okay, back to talking about Fachina. Fachina is... The main reason it gets on here is because it's a Blizzard-themed ice level. It looks amazing because of the Blizzard theme. And because of the alien structure, we get some nice futuristic sci-fi looking structures. And I mean, compared to the Hoth Echo Base, the Hoth Echo Base looked more modern. Because it was in a Lego game. And they had to use some universal parts that would work in a modern Lego set. So, kind of a hindrance on the sci-fi theme. But this oozes sci-fi and the Blizzard theme, plus the fact that there's more to do here than Halloween/Christmas Town, and the fact that there's very little wrong with how the gameplay works in this one. There's no doubt in my mind that Fachina has earned its 6th place spot. But because it's still kind of a mountainous area, I can't give it anything higher. So moving on to number 5 in part 2. Okay, number 5, Frozen Factory. Now, why did I pick Onyx Frozen Factory? Well, one, the music is some of the catchiest and Christmassy themed music ever, and that's surprising since the last entry was Christmas themed and this one's Factory Ice theme. Well, I mean, yeah, the last one was Ice / Christmas / Halloween / horror theme, but this one's Ice Factory theme, which we really don't see when we get a factory and it's supposed to be ice themed. We don't really see it. Yeah, but this one plays the machines and the ice so well, and it's pretty well made. Heck, even the slightly wonky ice skating is really fun and entertaining to do, and it doesn't lead to that many deaths. I know! Ice physics not leading to death. Well, we'll get on to that later. Foreshadowing. Okay, but all in all, this is a pretty good ice level, and because you have a lot of ice to play around, ice and snow to play around with it just, and places to go, it just squeaks past Kingdom Hearts' Arts is Halloween Town, / Christmas Town, and Vicina is more futuristic Dick Snowstorm setting because this is more unique, I think, and more colors, lots and lots of colors. So let's move on to number 4. Okay, number 4, is the Flaming Temple of Fire. Okay, I know how weird it sounds to have the level named the Flaming Temple of Fire, and yet it still end up on an ice level list, despite sounding like it has nothing to do with ice. But it's not really a flaming temple, or it's basically a Chinese temple with some really cool and awesome Chinese music. Have I mentioned I love Asian music and Asian architectural design? Well, yes, I have. So this thing having snow, not ice physics combined with Asian themed all around. Oh heck yeah, I'm into this. If it had a little bit more unique, if it looked a little bit better, I'm not saying it doesn't look amazing, just doesn't manage to give it enough of a shine to it. If it had a little bit more of a shine to the 8 areas and models, it probably would have won. But the gameplay is solid, no bad ice physics, and Asian culture rocks. So let's move on to number 3.
Team, unite up!
move now. The lost city of Karul. This place is freaking awesome. I mean, it is so amazing. I just can't put it in words how awesome it is. It's a temple, an ice temple, with ice in it. Name one other time. Ocarina of Time, but I haven't gotten to that point yet, so I can't put it on the list. But even then, from what I've seen, this looks way better. The only bad part is the giant, long, drawn-out boss battle between the crab. Everything else is awesome, especially the backstory we're given then during this section. It is a awesome ice level, and if it wasn't for the ice physics kind of hurting you, keyword kind of, in certain areas you do have some pretty bad ice physics, this would probably be my favorite ice level. Just probably. So let's move on to number 2. Freeze Flame Galaxy. This is a hybrid of the two types of elements that usually don't go together, fire and ice. And yet this level makes them go to, like, it feels so natural, like they need to be together. The only reason it's not my favorite ice level, well, and by the way, this is the one I was talking about where the ice skating is awesome. Some 2. The only reason this one's not my favorite ice level is it feels a little bit like it just feels like a level. Well, while the fire and ice feel like they naturally are in harmony, this just feels like a level. It doesn't feel like an actual galaxy where stuff would live. It just feels like a level for Mario to go through. But everything else just makes up for that in spades. But enough rambling. Let's get on with number 1.
You fought beside me at Sword Valley! Why did you change sides? Why the back off?
You're as blind as you were then. I've wanted you dead for years!
What's happening? Is the Bionis moving?
I wanted to get to Monado so I could be the new hero!
Is that it? That's the puerile reason you killed all those innocent people! Ravaged our home!
I love this body! The power! Dumb bands, you'll never win! Get on your knees and worship me!
Never.
Number 1 is Vulcan Mountains from Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, the reason why I chose this as my number 1 is, well, it looks amazing at night. The crystals light up. It just, you gotta see it for yourself. It looks amazing. And during the day, it looks pretty well on its own. It looks pretty good. And it's not that hard to get through. It doesn't have any game hindering things. And it's just a fantastic, gorgeous, and beautiful level. The crystals all around, the snow everywhere. It just looks amazing. I can't describe it. And because it doesn't hinder you at all, and the story section during this level is just engrossing. Heck, this is the one time you get to fight Mumkar outside of his mech, and it's fun. Well, fun once you've gotten enough to his level. But enough of me rambling. Just go check it out. Well, see you guys, and have a happy New Year's.